Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, Mike and Garrett. Hello, Garrett.
Howdy.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right today.
Yeah. How was your weekend?
It was good. I saw that new Aliens movie.
Oh, is any good?
You know what? It was. If you like the Aliens franchise, you're gonna probably like the nostalgia in it. If you're not too
Yeah.
into Aliens, it's a little hard to follow. Sometimes there's a lot of references.
I just would. Maybe I'll have to see the original. I don't know if it holds up. Most of those movies do
Oh, they
not.
hold up. The
Do they?
original Aliens hold up.
Yeah, I
And
heard that about Dune, and I watched the original Dune, and it's just fucking trash,
no, the
garbage.
the original
Special
Aliens were.
effects are horrible. Yeah, I that Sigourney
They used
Weaver, and we
Yeah,
all
and they used
remember
puppets and stuff, and it
the
was all
thing coming out of the
mechanical. So
body.
yeah, it still kind of holds up. It was a lot of puppetry, mechanical, and that's what they did in this movie that I appreciate.
Oh, so they kind of did the same thing?
Yeah, they kind of kept it all retro almost.
Yeah, didn't Star Wars kind of go back to that too after
A little bit.
the abortion that was the George Lucas second 3 where all the CGI that people had a problem with?
Yeah.
I thought they went back to
A little more
so,
puppetry work and costumes.
some of the models and puppetry, which is what you're keying in on for nostalgia with, your core base.
Yeah.
They want to see it. Yeah. The other one my brother wants to check out. We almost got it the other night is Twister or Twisters.
That's the next on our list.
Is it? Yeah.
Yep.
Let me know what you think of that. Cause I don't even remember if I saw the first one, but I heard it's great.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I saw it a long time ago on a VHS, so
yeah. See, you seem way too young to have appreciated the original
yeah.
Aliens.
I went back and watched
Twister.
Aliens as an adult.
Okay. Yeah. And you think it holds up? Cool.
I do.
Yeah. I think Star Wars does a good job of that. I think kids can watch the original 3 Star Wars movies and still it's slower. The kids today just don't have that attention span. You see it if anybody that's around kids at all sees, they need a tablet and an iPhone or whatever with them at all times.
Yeah,
a
but
video game.
Star Wars
system.
is such a simple story that kids can easily follow because it's the guy with the blue swords are good, guy with bad swords are bad, or red swords bad, and they fight. That's it. We know who the good guy is, we know who the bad guy is, and what their motive is.
And it's a tried and true hero arc. It's and it's well done. Because I watched them not that long ago, and when you grew up with it as a child, like that you run the risk of like thinking back at how great something was that doesn't quite hold up, for younger people, but they do appreciate the Star Wars. Twister, I don't remember. And Aliens, I just don't remember. Obviously Sigourney Weaver with the fucking alien coming out of the stomach. Was that her stomach that it came out of?
No, it was not hers. No,
she
was the only survivor.
So is she a part of this one too?
She's not in this one, but they kind of remade her as somebody else. So the main character of this movie becomes kind of the Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Solo female winning it all.
Yeah.
But it works the way it happens. I'll put it like this. I didn't, for as much like different actors of all sorts of race and everything, it didn't feel forced in this one. I felt pretty good about that.
Okay. So they did do the DEI thing, but they didn't overdo it.
Yeah. It was a very colorful cast of main characters. It was like an Old Navy commercial. You had to have the one Asian with the shaved head. You had to have the Hispanic lady. There was a vaguely Arabic guy.
Yeah. It's so weird because Star Wars, for instance, not to keep going back to that, goes back and forth, before the original 3 and then after, and it's like all of a sudden all these blacks and lesbians show up. You're like, wait a minute. So does that mean you had all these people and then you what? Had a genocide and killed them all? Because they're not in these 3 movies. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Where all of a sudden they're on. Walking Dead's the primest example of like this awesome story that's like, oh, okay, now we're 10 years in and all of a sudden the fucking deaf are kicking ass. Like, what? Like, you're trying too hard. I don't need someone in a wheelchair killing off fucking walkers. It's just ridiculous. It took me right out of it.
You would have been angrier if you read the books, trust me.
I bet.
I'll put it I think up until about the prison is all they followed. And as soon as they got to the prison, the show decided to do whatever it wanted to do.
Yeah. And I wasn't going to go reread all the Kirkman, is it Robert Kirkman that made
Robert
those?
Kirkman, yes.
Yeah. I wasn't going to go find those and read the comics, but people always do. They get all pissy about books and comics and not following. But this, the blueprint's there. It's just, it's the forced nature of it that seems so disingenuous, and it makes you take notice of it. Like, that's the part where it's like, you had this world created where I would be dead in week 1. Okay.
Yes.
I, as a white male with all my privilege, I would be dead in week 1. Why? Because I'm a fucking huge pussy. And it's like, yeah, we've established that all these characters that are surviving are ruthless. They're not worried about, have we been polite with our gender discussion? Are we using proper pronouns for people? Like, no, that's not what those people could care about. Think about Negan. When we first met Negan, dude, he was the coolest character since Vader.
Yeah.
Like, since Darth Vader. And then they've done everything they can to fucking destroy that thing. And
it's too mean.
Yeah, he was too mean, which was brilliant.
Oops, we accidentally wrote a good villain.
Yeah, we wrote an amazing villain, and he in one foul swoop took out like 3 hero characters. Yeah. And you were just like, oh shit.
Yeah, and it was in a way where you're like, oh shit. Like that
it was gruesome. I imagine the comics did that, right? Yeah. Or was that not part of the comics?
No, the comics didn't give a fuck about who they killed. That's why I like them.
And that's what they did in the first couple of seasons or whatever. It was like, you didn't know when you tuned in week after week, you didn't know which absolutely beloved character, because it felt more real. It was like, no, nobody is a sacred cow. Like, anybody can be taken out in the what would really happen in the real world in that situation, where it's like, yeah, you're one fucking step away from everything out to get you, rob you, steal you, kill you, eat you, whatever. It was awesome for a while. I just started watching. G just got DirecTV hooked up because he doesn't like dealing with YouTube TV, which I have because of the Sunday ticket. So he's going to use my YouTube TV for the football package. But then he's like, nah, I need DirecTV and old man shit. He doesn't like apps and fucking, all that stuff. So he goes back to that. And but when we hooked it back up, the Walking Deads that he had recorded on DVR were there, and so we just watched episode 1 of the Return of Rick, and so I'm hoping that holds up. And it's maybe like you said in it's got the diversity shit in full force in this, but it doesn't feel forced yet.
That's good, at least.
So maybe they did better, and it's like, okay, we don't have to go where we've got fucking blind people signing in the 12 years into the apocalypse. Like, give me a break.
Yeah, that's like that where I start losing. Like, here's the problem I always have with them too is like, you could totally write a gay character exactly like me, where it's just I have my guns, I know how to survive a little bit, and that's how I'm managing. But I also have a boyfriend. That's it.
Didn't they kind of do that with? Was it Aaron? Was that his name?
Yeah, something like that. I didn't watch that far.
He lost his arm or whatever, and he was kind of a badass. And then he's got a boyfriend, and of course, one of the boyfriends is going to die. It's The Walking Dead, and that didn't seem terribly forced. It was whatever.
That's how you could write a gay character in almost anything and just have nobody mad at it,
right?
But they don't want to do that. They want to parade it.
And the problem too is because I think that character was kind of established for a couple of years or a couple seasons before you found out he was gay. Yeah. Which is also good, because the alternative is you have some lispy queen running around.
You made a gay guy look like a respectable member of your group.
Exactly. He's pulling his weight. He's doing his thing. He's just attracted to someone different than you. Duh. Like it is in society. It's like, who gives a shit? But they're still trying to figure all this out. But anyway, maybe I'll check that out, and if I see Twister before you, I'll let you know. Okay. If that's good. A lot of shit to get to today. The Democratic National Committee, the DNC, has their bullshit starting today. Joe Biden has given a historic speech. It's so funny. There are U-Hauls at the White House today. And so they're like, is this dude just going to sayonara? Is he going to fucking like everybody knows he's not doing anything anyway. So it's like, maybe he'll just move out early. I don't think that's the case. I don't think they would be that obvious and have U-Hauls, shitty $19 a day U-Haul. That's what the commoners use. So, I mean, I would expect 2 men in a truck at least, at a minimum. But who knows?
These guys got pods. Come on.
Yeah. I used a pod.
Our tax dollars. They got pods.
Get Pods. Pods was great.
Oh, yeah.
They did a good job for me. The Democrats are being mocked today as they get all set up for their big party tonight. I guess Biden speaking tonight. Speaking. It's a relative term, but their preparations are underway now. Taking place in Chicago, Illinois. So I imagine they did a giant sweeperoo with all the trash, homeless, and illegals that litter their city. And by trash, I mean literal trash. I don't mean human trash.
Yeah.
But they probably are doing a giant sweeperoo to be like, what? Nothing to see here. We're awesome. So part of that prep, they're worried about protests from the anti-Israel, pro-Hamas part of their wing of their party. And so all the businesses are boarding up. And then what do you know? Garrett, they're putting a fence around the whole fucking convention center. They're building a wall, essentially.
Does it work? Is it going to keep them out?
I don't know. I wonder if they're going to have the same talking points that they've always had. So yeah, people are having a field day, obviously, with that as they put fencing up all the way around it. And it's like, well, what is the purpose of a wall? What is the purpose of a fence? It doesn't necessarily mean it's like racism. It's protecting your shit. It's keeping riffraff out. Is it perfect? No, because I remember those arguments at the southern border wall, and people were like, build a 20-foot wall. I'll open a 21-foot ladder store. Now what do you do? It's like, yeah, I understand people are going to fucking break your shit. I understand. Like, why do you put locks on your door, dummy? Yeah. It doesn't mean your house is impenetrable, but it's meant
to. It's a layer.
It's a layer. Yeah, exactly. The people are like, oh yeah, what about all the people that fly into the country and overstay their visa? It's like, okay, well, we can deal with that too then. That's not right either. But
they're next.
Yeah, okay, put it on the list. There's lots of shit. It doesn't mean that you do nothing. You do nothing. This wasn't even the weird part is this wasn't even a talking point 5 years ago. And Jay and I used to play the audio of all the typical people on the left saying it right along with the people on the right. We need to secure our border for the safety of the country. Like that was just my entire life. That's why this is so confusing. Yep. This whole wall debate, because it was not confusing my whole life. The only confusion came in when it was like, why do you guys keep talking about it? All of you scumbags that are leaders in the country, you've been talking about it for decades. You don't really do as much as you should, and it doesn't feel like you're actually doing something. But they all knew the talking point. It was always the same. So it's changed now to where one side doesn't want it at all and acts like you're the only reason you would want security on any level is racism, obviously, which just seems like so disingenuous, because it wasn't a week ago that you all had the same attitude on it, that it was like, yeah, it's obviously you don't have a nation if you don't have borders. Like, point to the other countries in the world where they would allow that. Yeah. No, you don't. And when you do, it's catastrophic. So like, why are we even having this discussion?
I was going to say that's how you end up with the UK situation right now, where half the country is burning down the other half of the country for the immigration issue.
Right. And it sucks because it just wasn't something that we fought about. It wasn't, you could fight about, the treatment of people, what is the humane way to treat people. And you totally understand the idea of haves and have-nots. It's easy to acknowledge, like if you were born in America, the United States of America, in our lifetime, Garrett, you won the lottery. Yeah. You won the life lottery. When you look at a global picture of 8 billion plus people, throw a dart at it. What are the odds you hit America and are born and raised here? Like our level of entitlement is so much greater than so many places on planet Earth. But that's true in every aspect of life. Like, it's why equity falls on its face. Like the idea that we all need to be at some equitable, resolution in life. Like it just doesn't work that way. Yeah. I have friends that are much, much smarter than me. They just are. Like it doesn't, I have friends that work much, much harder than I do. And it's like, yeah, you can see where they get and what that doesn't mean that someone's out to get me or like Ryan Fiorini is a very smart guy. Travis Bully is a very smart guy. They do really well for themselves, and they keep going up levels. And it's like, yeah, am I just going to scream at the sky to God? Like, why didn't you give me their brain and their initiative and their fucking stick-to-itiveness? Like, I wasn't born with that. Like, I have my talents, but
I see it with my brother every day, and I'm proud of the kid. I love him for it.
Yeah,
he's a driven motherfucker. I'm not. I got a job I like. I'm comfortable. I got my house. I'm happy.
Yeah.
But he is constantly working towards the next thing he can get.
Dude, my brother's the same way. Now, my brother's not constantly, but it's like he found what he was good at, and he super excels at it and does really well for himself. And it's like, good for him. But you know what that means? It means he's never sitting poolside. He's never he goes on vacation. He brings a computer setup with him, and he's constantly fucking working. And you have to like drag him out a couple times a year to go golfing. Like he loves doing that. But for the most part, the guy, like, even after the workday's over, he's at his desk and he's working. And it's like, yeah, I don't have that. But my brother had that when he was fucking 12. When we were little kids, when we first got jobs at Gene's Hardware, whatever, we'd be fucking around. Jay and I would be throwing fucking salt pellets at each other, and G would be sweeping the whole place. Like, it wasn't something my parents taught him that they didn't teach me. It's like, yeah, you get what you put in.
Yeah.
And so I totally understand why people would want to break into the interior of this country and try to get a better, I understand that, but there's legal ways to do it. And, there's a reason that people put gates up to protect their property. You put locks on your door. You put a border wall up at your southern border. It's why celebrities encase themselves in walls in gated communities. It's not because they're racist. It's for safety concerns. It's
straight up just a level of safety. It'd be the same for any white person coming through a border wall as a black person or a Hispanic or anything,
Sure. And
I hate that it's a whole race thing now. It's like, no, it's just they shouldn't be here without getting checked first. That's all.
Yeah. And when you see the argument with it really and I hate to make it a left-right thing because it was always just a politician thing to me. Most of my life, it was just a politician thing. It wasn't a right-left talking point. That is new. And so when you see stuff like this and it's like, no, I can pull video of every one of those leftist fucking clowns screaming about how a wall doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Use a drone. It's like, yeah, use all of it. Sure. You have better technology. You build a wall and you put a lock on it if you need, whatever. And then you use drone technology, use whatever's at your disposal to protect the interior of your country. Duh. It's how borders work. No problem. It doesn't mean you do one exclusively and fuck the other. Oh, walls don't work. Well, so how do you respond today? Like, you built a wall, a security wall around the entire convention for the week. Why? If walls don't work, do you even hear yourself? Do you hear do you see the irony in, like, you're making the point people against you are making against you all the time that you act like isn't there? Tim Walz, this idiot wants to put a 10-foot wall up. Oh, I'll come over with an 11-foot ladder. Like, yeah. So, people are taking shots at him today. Yeah, you walk right into it. You make it too easy.
Imagine walking into a security, like a max security prison, and just telling the guy, "Hey, man, just fucking leave. Walls don't exist.
Walls don't. Yeah, walls don't work. Locks don't work. What are you doing?
What are you doing here? Get out."
Yeah, and that's almost the level of ineptitude that it would be. Yeah. Like if all of a sudden one side of the country was going, "Wow, what's with all these locks on prisons?"
Yeah,
and the rest of us would be going, "Wait, what?"
I mean, that's kind of where the left wants to go.
You sort of, yeah. No, I know. So VP Harris called the Trump's border wall stupid, waste of money. Now builds DNC border fence. Daryl Issa posted. Wait, Democrats told us walls are racist and they don't work. Hey, look, Democrats are building a wall around the DNC. They can build walls to keep Harris protesters out, but can't build a wall to keep illegals out of the U.S. Democrat walls can't protect U.S. borders. Walls are racist. Also, Democrats, we need a wall around the entire Chicago DNC convention to protect us from our own liberal domestic terrorists. That's a pretty good one.
That is a pretty good one.
It's crazy.
Because the Palestine crowd right now is hot. And that's their
Oh,
side.
yeah.
And they're hot against their side because their side just supported Israel because that's the more popular opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Watching them melt down, they're going to melt down about something. That's basically what they're paid to do. That's their job, is to just melt down about something. So whether it's Black Lives Matter or any of these fucking groups, they're professional victims. They're professional meltdowners. And so that's what they do. It'll be, I'm sure they won't address it. I'm sure, they'll just, I don't know. I'm probably going to watch some of the debate. I don't know if you are. I mean, it's basically like the Republican one. I watched some of it, not much of it, but it's just going to be a rally for they're just going to do what the right just cried that, Biden, I guess it was still Biden at the time. Biden's, a communist or whatever they're going to say about Kamala. And they're going to do the same thing tonight and act like, Trump wants to. Trump's a Nazi and
dictator,
racist dictator, and democracy's on the line. How many times are you going to hear democracy's on the ballot in November?
Or that he took away the abortion rights.
Oh, that's a good one, dude. Yeah. It's so funny how all of a sudden this talk, like I'm talking to people and they will tell me, like a woman's right to choose is just, it's a deal breaker. And I'm just like, yeah, there's other things going on in the fucking world.
Trump already came out and said it's the state's problem. It's not mine. I can't touch it.
Yeah, I know. So, and it seemed reasonable. It was reasonable to a lot of people. Not that, look, an abortion is not something to champion. It's sad. It is. It was, again, another thing that was historically sad. Do I think women should have the right to choose and deal with their own? I absolutely fucking do. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't want any part of it. And, politicians getting involved sucks. Like, yeah, I agree. I don't care what women do with their bodies. Totally agree. I hands off, my body, my choice lost a lot of its fucking pull during COVID, when my body, my choice didn't matter anymore. And an illegal or not illegal, but a experimental medication was forced into bodies of Americans. If you wanted to keep your job, if you wanted to be in polite society, like that happened. So this whole my body, my choice thing loses a lot of its like power. In my book, it's like, my body, my choice when it's convenient for my argument. So I stand by like, no, I don't want these clowns being able to force me to do shit about anything, with my body, whether it's women's abortion rights. That's a horrible thing. I think it was Jimmy Dore said it, like, and it's a great point. Like, anytime you're talking about something like abortion's not something to be celebrated. When you talk about your team played like shit, it was an abortion. Like, oh my God, the way our defense played, absolute abortion out today. Like, it's a horrible thing.
The dumpster fire abortion shit show.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We named a goddamn show
abortion.
After it. Yeah.
You
exactly.
aborted it.
Things are going so poorly that it's known as an abortion, a dumpster fire, a shit show.
Yep.
That's what it is. But it's turned into this talking point where it's like, and the fact remains 70% of the country feels that way. 70% is like, leave me out of it, man. It's got nothing to do with me.
Most conservatives nowadays are just like, leave me out of it. We lost the Senate last time because of that.
Oh, 100% they did. 100% they did. And it's going to be a talking point that is an existential threat to the country, like Donald Trump is Hitler. It's going to be one of those level things because they know, when you're talking up there today, and I'm pointing over there as I've got CNN on the background, there's not a lot of policy things you can go and brag about. You can't talk about the state of this country because most people aren't buying it. You can claim the economy's awesome, but honestly, you'll spend $100 at the grocery store and literally get one little baggie of bullshit. Like, we all feel it. We all see it. We all go to the grocery store. We all go get gas, and it's an abortion is what it is. It's an absolute shit show. You feel it as a family. I felt it in Michigan when it was just me trying to feed myself. It was horrible. And, so anyways, I don't even remember where I was going with that, but
just the DNC. being the DNC.
Yeah, thank you, Garrett. My point was there's not a lot of wins you can talk about. You can't talk about how great the economy is. They'll try, but most average Americans feel it a lot. And I'm not talking about elites. I'm not talking about multimillionaires. Yeah. They're able to weather this way more than single moms in shitty apartments trying to, pull things together. Like those people, it's a very big struggle when you have inflation at the levels it's at. So that message doesn't ring true to people like, wow, the economy's stronger than it's ever been. It's like,
exactly. They can't run on what they've done because nobody's happy right now with what they've done.
Right. So what do you run on? Well, Donald
Promises
Trump
of the
is
future.
Hitler, and we're going to do all this shit. It's like, well, you've been there 3.5 years, you cunt. Why haven't you done any of it now?
Well, we're not that guy then.
What's that?
Well, then I guess we're not that guy. That's what we got.
Yeah, exactly. We're not that guy. And abortion.
Yeah.
And abortion. And you know what? The warden goes off the deep end about this. The warden fucking, she's one of those people. This is she could strictly vote on that, So I get it. I see it firsthand how this means a lot. Women have felt like they were under attack for a long fucking time, that they were ignored. They weren't taken seriously. They were given the right to vote way later. Like they felt like second-class citizens. And so any attempt to any signal that they don't have control over their shit is going to send, people into a frenzy. And so that's what you're seeing. But at the end of the day, also, I don't vote on one thing, and it's like that's not.
It's not just one thing. I mean, when the abortion was deemed unconstitutional by the Supreme Court, they think that getting Kamala in there or something is going to just make the Supreme Court deem it reconstitutional and put it back. It's not going to work like that.
No,
it's gone right now.
Not how that works.
You might be able to draft something new, but that's all you could do. And then good luck getting that past the Supreme Court right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of stacked in the conservative favor.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And it's going to be for quite a while.
Yep.
Thanks,
RGB. RBG.
RBG. Yeah. Oh, believe me, I can make an incredible argument about how that went down and why. Those people don't want to hear it. And to me, it's like, dude, look, the conservatives have a base too. They have a base that they need to placate. They just do. Just like the left does. The left needs to get into some wacky fucking gender bending bullshit because they've got a base that they need to keep happy. And so both sides have to deal with the more radical and weird sides to their team. They just do. And so the conservatives were never going to be able to solidify Roe v. Wade or abortion. Like they just weren't. And so you had to take the opportunity when you had it to do that if it was really important. And you absolutely had opportunities. You also had opportunities to bolster the court and in your favor, and you didn't take advantage of those either. People's egos got in the way. RGB is a prime example. Prime example. Obama tried gingerly to have a lunch with her and go, hey, old bird, you could drop dead at any minute. How about you fuck off now so I can put a 38-year-old in here and we have our ideology in place for the next 50 years. She was like, go fuck yourself, pass the mustard, and then drop dead. So you can't blame the right for that. Sorry, you just can't. And Obama could absolutely, he had a super majority. Yep. House, Senate, and fucking he had Congress, he had the White House, he had all the branches for 2 years, and he could have and said he would, and then was like, yeah, it's not that big a deal. Sorry. And then blew it off. So, I mean, if you really want to hold people accountable for what they do and what they say, that there's a simple path. The right was never going to do that for you. Never. They can't because of their batshit wing of the base. Right? They of the party. They can't do it. And so you had to take that opportunity when you had the chance, and you didn't. So.
And then they're blaming us.
Yeah. Put the blame where it's due. But dude, even having that conversation with people that are like super riled up about it, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to. And so it's like, okay, I don't know what to tell you. And it does suck, man. It's got to be tough to be a woman dealing with that horrible decision right now in Texas. Like, they're fucking illegal.
Yeah.
So like, I get it. That sucks. If you're a parent in Texas and you've got a 15-year-old daughter who gets knocked up, and it's like, the 15-year-old might absolutely want to keep it. I don't know. But those are tough discussions to have with a fucking kid who's made a decision that's going to affect them for the remainder of their life. Like, that's
right.
It's not lost on me. Like, I totally get how that's a horrible position to be in. One mistake shouldn't alter your life forever, you'd hope. And a reasonable parent is going to want to, deal with that. And you see it on the right. You see the hypocrisy on the right of, like, standing on a soapbox preaching against, abortion and blah, 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 Christian this and the Lord that. And then you find out on the fucking back end that, their 15-year-old daughter got knocked up and they fucking aborted the shit out of it.
Oh, 100% every time.
So it's like, yeah, they're all shitty operators. But by the way, I want to be addressed going forward, I believe, as hoo-hoo.
All right, hoo-hoo, what's up?
Thank you for that. Appreciate. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay. And I think it's human or human.
Is it a hootie hoo or hoo-hoo?
It's not a hootie hoo. No, I do not want a fucking hootie hoo.
Making sure.
No.
We're taking the D out of it. Just hoo-hoo.
We're learning what Kamala Harris has in her agenda. And so their campaign allows potential hires to select from a litany of pronouns. And I don't know how they chose what stays on the list and what doesn't, because I don't know. Maybe you can ask Marina. Maybe I thought it was well over 75. I've heard some of them say it's an infinite number.
I think that's what we covered, right? Was 75, at least.
Different pronouns. Well, so they're accepting job applications right now for her future presidency, for the campaign, and all that kind of stuff. So their website allows people seeking employment to choose from 9 sets of gender pronouns. So does that mean it's not nearly enough? I mean, couldn't you have a drop down with an alphabetized thing like your passwords on iPhone?
Yeah. And you got to think about it like this. There's more stripes on the gay flag than there is in the pronouns they let you have.
Wait, say that again? There's more what?
There's more stripes on that big gay flag than there are pronouns they allow you to choose from. So something's wrong here. It's not adding up.
It's not adding up. And so if you had a drop down thing, and it might take you a while to scroll through them because there's quite a few, like, you'd think you could be more inclusive. I would expect more inclusivity from this party. You know what I mean? The right is only giving you what? He, him, and she, sure. Like, what kind of dinosaurs are these people? That's all they give you. Maybe they'll give you other or X. Was X a thing for
that was
a while?
At airports, yeah.
Yeah, but how does Kamala's team settle on 9? If I was part of the other fucking infinite, I'd be livid. Like, what? We don't exist in your world? We don't count? So applicants who identify as non-binary or even claim to be agender, which is nothing. You're just nothing. They can select neutral pronouns like they, them. They, them's always on the list.
Yeah.
Confusing as shit when you're reading it in a story. I'm always like, wait, when did the team arrive? They. So that it confuses me, but I'm an old man, so whatever. They've shortened that version because they is too hard for people to say. Do you know what the shortened version is?
I didn't know there was one.
A-M. E-Y-E-M.
A&M?
A-N-M. Yeah, A-M. E-Y/E-M. Because they, them is like, oh my God, we don't have all day. Spit it out. What are you? A-M. So there's that one now. So we've shortened they, them to AM, and that's included in the list.
Great.
Z-Zem, is that how you spell it? X-E/X-E-M.
Yeah, I think that's the Z, Zems, or whatever.
Yeah, but no, there's Z-Zer as well. So fucking,
so
what is it?
That's a separate one.
Yes.
I don't know then, because I always thought the Z's was just like the people who are trying to be in between genders, but they don't want to be they, them because they're not. It's a lot of math. I
count on you to be up on this shit. I
was not good at math. This is a lot of math.
Is it math or is this? I don't know what
gay
this
math.
Is. Gay math. It's gath.
It's gath.
It's gaith. Yeah. Z-Zem, X-E/X-E-M or Z-Zer.
So they are in the same bar. kind of like the same meaning. Isn't that supposed to be their intersex ones? Like, I could be a guy today, girl tomorrow.
Okay, that's a fun one.
Yeah, that's what I think that is the Zzer or whatever. So you say that before they go, well, I'm going by she today. Then you go by she. Okay. I think that's how that one works.
Yeah, I'm not going to play that game personally, but that's just me.
I don't either. That's why I don't know the rules very well.
Yeah.
I usually just start referring to people as slurs when they say things like that.
What is her? Kind of want to be a her. Do I follow? Can I be a her?
That feels feminine. Are you feminine?
H-I a little bit, kind of bitchy.
Okay.
HIR/HIR, like her, not HER. So her.
Is this another one of those shortened ones?
There's a shortened word for human, which is hoo-hoo. So
okay, so you're human. I got you. HUHU.
HUHU, exactly. Hoo-hoo. So I could be a hoo-hoo. And then there's Fay Fair. These are, I wouldn't be bringing this up, but these are all, this woman wants to be our president. This is on the application sheet. I don't know what to put. So I want to be on the team, because if I just put he, him, they're going to be like, ugh, gross. A white he, him, fuck out of here. But if I apply and exactly. Garbage. But if I go in there and I'm a hoo-hoo, right?
Yeah.
They're going, okay, well, let's take a look at this cat. Or a her. But I don't want to embarrass myself if they're like, dude, you don't look like a her.
Yeah.
Well, and I find out
don't wear hats. And you're like, well, who are you to tell me what I can wear?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to find out that a her's a free bleeder or something. And this whole time I'm like, they're like, you don't look like a free bleeder.
Just spill some ketchup on your pants.
Yeah.
Then let them question it. They're not allowed to question it.
But hoo-hoo, I could be that. I've never been a fan of cis, to be honest with you. It sounds like sissy. So I'm not a huge fan of cis. But hoo-hoo, I might be able to get, it sounds a little like yoo-hoo, but, hoo-hoo, I'm a human. And if it makes them go, okay, this guy's bringing something to the table. He admits he's a hoo-hoo.
It sounds like prison slang for something you can fuck. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, it sort of does, doesn't it? What was the other one?
What was her?
No. What was the other prison thing you could fuck? What was
a fifi?
A fifi.
Yep.
It does. You think hoo-hoo sounds like a fifi? Yeah, it sort of does.
It kind of sounds like something in prison you'd make the fuck.
Yeah, sort of does. Yeah. It's not bad. There's also Fay Fair. Faefaer.
I think those are the people who think they're magical creatures, like elves and shit.
Okay, yeah, very good, Garrett. You passed.
Oh, sweet, I got one.
They're by people who consider themselves to be fairies or practice Wicca.
There it is.
So that's the supernatural, is the Wicca crowd, right?
I hung out with goth kids in high school.
Yeah, I know. The tape over the mouth?
Yep, that crowd.
Yeah. So people that consider themselves to be fairies, I hadn't put a lot of thought into it, but I don't know that I want them in an administration.
I've been called a fairy before, but I don't feel like one.
What's that?
I said I've been called a fairy, but I don't feel like one.
Yeah. It was not usually in a good way.
Yeah.
Little fairy, It's like, oh, I
prefer Fae, all right?
Yeah, I'm Fay Fair. Fuck you, I'm not a fairy. I'm a Fay Fair. So yeah, but other people are like, dude, you're teetering on cultural appropriation with this whole Fay Fair thing.
I think so.
So I don't know if the actual fairies of the universe are protesting, or if Wicca folks feel under attack. I don't know.
They can fight that out with the demons.
Yeah. That's how they did it in TV and movies for our whole lives. Can we leave the unserious people at home? Like, I don't have any problem with them. Like, I'm very comfortable with the San Francisco Jacks existing, right?
Yeah.
Group of dudes, like-minded, like to get in a room together and jack off all over each other. Fine. You do you, man. I don't care.
Little docking.
Do that. It's great. They've been friend of show for many, many years. And I wish them nothing but love and support. Big fan of the Jacks. Jerry, of course, is a dear friend of this show. He always will be. And but I'm not dying to have them in an administrative role in higher politics.
Yeah,
maybe that makes me so I wouldn't want me in that role either. Right? I'm an unserious person.
And if they are into those things, I just don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever find out.
So they can hang out at all the San Francisco Jack clubs they want. They can hang out in seedy places wherever, or in their own household. But, when you're wearing a dog mask and walking around with fucking other men on leashes, like, that's fine. We have parades for you. Go do you. But no, you don't get to be in the administration. That just seems like a bridge too far for me, and I'm inclusive to whatever. I welcome just about anything into my life and world. I don't care. I've been a degenerate most of my life. So whatever. But I don't think people like us need to be represented on that level. Yeah. Like, keep the serious people there. There's serious shit going on in the world. And I think how we portray ourselves and how we look, how we sound matters to foreign entities on some level. And I'd rather not show them, let's not show them our buttholes. Let's keep this professional. How about you guys wear a shirt and tie to work? I don't want to do that, but
yeah.
It means something to me. It's like, serious people got a hold of this. We're good.
There's a lot of foreign, dangerous countries looking for any weakness to poke at.
Yeah.
So represent us well, please.
Yeah, I think we're the butt of many, many jokes. Around the around the world. It's a strange time, man. It's an interesting time. Again, night one of the DNC. We'll see what they're all about, but. Yeah, it's crazy. The batshit craziness never seems to end, by the way, as California at it again. And there's a public school district has been using a graphic textbook, pretty graphic textbook.
Okay.
For nearly 2 years. I don't think they told people. They just kind of put it in the classrooms and we're like, I don't know, maybe you'll find it. The one we found, I don't remember what it was, Lawn Boy or one of those where it was like...
Lawn Boy was the fuck the mailman or something, sucked his dick.
No, it was the real estate guy.
Yeah.
And I always laughed at that. It was like, what 15-year-old boy doesn't know who his town fucking realtor is? Like, seems right in line. You know what I mean? Know. Like, yeah. I mean, what 15-year-old wouldn't know who the realtor is? And why wouldn't you get blown by him from time to time? Duh. So this one is Glendale Unified School District. And I don't know where that is. Somewhere in California. I don't know if it's southern or northern. But they first approved the text Feminist Frontiers 10th edition in February of 22. They've been using it in classrooms since. The book explores how gender inequality intersects with sexuality and highlights contemporary issues like the gender of Trumpism. I don't even know what that means. The gender of Trumpism?
Like, so being a Trump supporter is now a can I get pronouns ma and ga?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
No, gender of Trumpism. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe are they referring to like more guys like Trump or something?
Maybe
I think they're trying to call Trump fans their own gender.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I'd take that.
On my license.
I kind of like Matt and Guh.
Yeah,
it's not bad. I identify as Matt and Guh.
Yeah.
It's no more silly than any of the other ones. Who. You know, Zizur, like Fifi, Fufu, Fi Fo Fum. It's no fucking different than that. I identify as Matt and Guh. Okay, good for you, dickhead.
Yeah.
So it explores gender inequality intersects with sexuality and highlights contemporary issues like gender of Trumpism, climate change, mass shootings, and Black Lives Matter. Another one of these books. The text includes online writings, blog posts that use language concerning sex with blow-up dolls, gay sex, group sex, drug use, jacking off, porn in general. I've got one part here, and I don't know. Maybe we can discuss what the fear is, what the danger is.
Yeah.
Want to bang a straight dude? STR8, straight.
That's like slang.
Slang.
Text talk.
Proving you're young and cool, right?
Yep.
People my age don't write straight. STR8.
Yep. Oh, Glendale, by the way, is just north of Los Angeles proper.
Okay, there you go.
Just north, right on top of it.
Okay, there you go. Want to bang a straight dude in front of his girl? This is a fantasy of mine, and hey, it's New Year's. Why not? I'd like to bang a straight guy in the ass in front of his chick. I'd even bang a straight dude. One-on-one if you want. I'm not into guys that sound and act like chicks. I'm really not into guys. I just think it's a kinky, hot to do. No, I think you're actually
you're into guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. I hate to break it to you. You gay.
Yeah. Yeah. You sound like you just straight gay dude. Like no problem. You can code it in guy bro talk. One of the guys.
Bro talk.
I'm not into those faggy dudes. I just want to butt fuck them. Yeah, it's called homo. Sorry.
Everybody knows the rules. You cook as many meals as you want. You're not a chef, but you suck one dick. You're gay forever.
Oh yeah. I kind of agree with that.
That's the rule.
Yeah, it seems like a real, like when they talk about a red line, like crossing a red line. This is foot in the sand type of shit. Put my foot down on this. You do this and X, and it's forever.
Yep.
It seems like sucking the dick is one of those things.
I would agree.
I don't even think sticking something in your ass goes that far.
No, it's like, not even. I think choosing to put a wiener in your mouth is probably one of the gayest things you could do.
Yeah, it seems highly gay to me. I don't know. I could just be an old man, but it seems like that's a red line. When that helmet goes into your mouth, crosses the teeth barrier. It's like, yeah. You can. I'm straight gay, big time. I want your chick there watching
sucking a dick.
No, it's never happened. Never.
Nobody's ever been straight sucking a dick.
I mean, unless forced. If someone's got you by the ears and they're fucking just jamming a dick in your mouth.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Like if you're at gunpoint. So it's got to be, to get that gay moniker, that tag, that label, if you will. It has to be voluntary.
Yes.
And this gentleman here, straight as he may be, is seeking out cock.
Yeah.
At least in this book. I didn't
thinking about too much. It's gay.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, Garrett, I've never even thought about sucking a dick.
See?
Yeah. It's never crossed my mind. Like, I wonder. Like, I haven't even had that thought, which I think is fair. I think there's plenty of guys that are like, man, these gay dudes really seem to be happy. And they really the lesbians seem to fucking hate the world.
No,
gay dudes are about the happiest guys you'll ever meet.
I don't want to talk about biology. Women never get along. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. You throw two of them in a room and expect them to get along. They seem angry at everything, and not all of them. I know some lesbians that are pretty sweet people.
Statistically, the highest rates of domestic abuse.
Yeah, but gay dudes seem happy as shit. So I wouldn't put it past a guy going, I don't know, these guys seem really happy. They seem happy in their relationship. Maybe sucking a dick is the key. I don't know. I've never gotten there, but I could see some guy have it, and then you get to the point, it's like, I can't do it. I'm out.
That's the thing. If you can't do it at that point, you're straight.
Yeah, but you can get up to that line. It's crossing the red line. Once that helmet goes past the teeth, game over. Yeah, yep. I'm glad that even me and a younger generation can see eye to eye on this.
It's good to set a boundary.
The textbook was submitted for Board of Education approval by Christopher Coulter, who is the Director of Teaching and Learning at GUSD. Again, that's the Glendale Unified School District there in just north of LA. The Board of Education Vice President, Nairi Nahabadahin.
Okay. That sounds like a gender.
Yeah. Offered a glowing take on feminist frontiers. Nahabadahin, who is now the Board of Education president. Okay, not just the VP anymore. Now, who gave a glowing review, like all kids should be reading this for sure. Interjected to say the textbook is well balanced and expresses how exciting it is for this to be an opinion for students. It's a wonderful opportunity for our students to have more options, more electives that will expand their thinking. The book was approved in February of 22 by the Board of High School Women's Studies as an elective course. There are no indications that parents were made aware of the graphic nature of the text.
So that's classroom required reading.
Yeah.
That's even worse than just putting in the library.
Yeah. I would agree. The approval came as school materials across the country came under microscope. The content in Feminist Frontiers would almost certainly be objectionable to many parents. Well, yeah, that's why they don't tell them. Duh. Do you think it just slipped their mind? No, it didn't just slip their minds. They know if they pull this out and read a couple passages to parents are going to go, wait a minute, what?
Hold up.
Hold on. No. How about
my kid can't access those websites yet? Why are you telling them?
Another passage in the book asks, any straight/bi guys want to help me fuck my blow-up doll? Come on, guys. We can't always pick up the chick we want to bone, right? So let's get together and fuck the hell out of my hot blow-up doll. Her mouth, her pussy, her ass all feel great. Just be cool, uninhibited, horny, and ready to fuck this bitch. It's all good here. I don't want my niece and nephews reading that, but maybe some do. Maybe some are cool with that.
I'm going to go on a limb and say that book was written by a woman.
You think so?
I don't know of any man ever who would call a blow-up doll hot, let alone let anyone else touch it.
Yeah, or
admit he has
invite. One. Yeah, that's a great point, Garrett. Yeah, I don't know any guys, but maybe that's a new generation.
Guys do in their spare time.
Yeah, I've never even thought, drunk as can be, never thought about calling a buddy and be like, "Dude, get your ass over here. We are fucking the shit out of this blow-up doll tonight."
Like, I know they got the stereotypical movie trope of like, oh, the girls get together and they might do a little kissing or something. Oh no, but
yeah.
You think the guys that get together and like gang fuck a blow-up doll?
Yeah, I can't see. I don't know. Maybe it's happened. I wouldn't put it past the crew at the Jacks. But
yeah,
I don't know many guys. I've never even, and I've my crew is pretty fucking wild. Fucked a lot of chicks. Yeah. Maybe some of them spun off in some way I'm not aware of. Lots of inappropriate behavior. At no time did any of my buddies ever once suggest fucking a blow-up doll together.
No, the blow-up doll was usually just something you threw at other people as a joke.
Yeah, it had that mouth open thing, and it looked scared as shit. Here's another one. Laid back straight guy seeks same for jack off buddy.
Oh, I've seen those ads.
Yeah, have you? You probably fucking wrote those ads. Let's be honest.
I didn't say straight guy in my ad.
Easygoing straight Caucasian male seeks same, looking for a buddy to stroke with who enjoys straight porn and sex with women, but who is cool and open-minded. I'm not gay, but I do like to show off and have done some bi stuff in the past. Sir, you might want to circle back and look into that gay thing.
You're gay.
If you want to be in a room jacking off with other dudes and you've sampled dicks, I don't know that I'd be throwing around the straight label a lot. That seems like appropriation. Interested in jerk off only. I'm in shape and attractive, and this is no big deal to me. Don't have girlfriend right now and wanted to get off today. So hit me back if you're interested. You can do that without having another dick in the room, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't need a second dick in the room in order to get off.
Given the lingo and stuff that they're using too, like straight STR8, they're in the age of the internet. You can just go online. There's a million websites that let you jerk off with a million strangers. I
wonder who told this guy he needs a second dick in the room to show off and jack off with.
Because he's gay.
Another one includes a guy who wants to jack it with another guy and jack off the hot pussy together. Seems weird. Totally normal. Straight bud smoking stroke 420.
I've seen those ads too.
Okay, of course you have.
This just sounds like you're reading a Grindr post.
This was posted by Woke Bay G in in Michigan.
Smoking stroke sesh. What's up?
Any other hot straight dudes? Why do they always point out the straight? Why is this
so... guys like that? I don't get it either.
Any other hot straight dudes want to smoke out, kick back, and jack off to some hot porn? Like to kick it with another bro and work out a load together. That's in the book, dude. Work out a load together. Just a couple bros jacking it, working out a load together. Nothing to see here.
Just a couple dude bros.
Hey, listen, Garrett. Just be jacking only. No making out. No touching.
Just jacking and jelking.
No anal bullshit and smoking out. Not a fag. I ain't fucking keep your dick on your side of the room.
The only fags in my house are cigarettes.
Straight drunk dude looking to get off. Hi there. Looking to lay back, have some beers, and watch some straight porn this evening. I'm 5'10". Thanks, pal. That was the hang up, right? He was worried like when they get here, they're going to think I'm too short. I better let them know I'm 5'10". And he's probably squeezing an inch on you in there.
A couple inches in different spots.
An Instagram account for concerned GUSD parents claimed in a post this weekend that the district has abruptly pulled the book. Huh, well, that's weird.
I wonder.
Why? Why would they do that? Why would they? Here's what I can't figure out, Garrett. Maybe you can help me with this. Why would they not tell parents about the content in this, have it in the schools as required reading, and then when word gets out that this is going in there, immediately pull it? But that's just weird. Because even if you didn't tell the parents, at this point, you obviously think that this serves a very, very important. I would assume that most books that are part of the curriculum in a school are there for a reason. They serve a purpose, and it's one that we're worth fighting for. Like, no. This is why this is important. Yeah. This is why this book is in the schools, and we expect the children to read this. Why wouldn't they be making that argument if this is something you're not shamefully trying to stuff in there? It's almost like you're trying to indoctrinate children for some reason.
It was so important that they had to spend your tax dollars on a bunch of copies of that book so that they could give them to the students.
Yeah. I just, I don't, it just seems so evil. Like, kids are going to do what kids are going to do. I didn't listen to my parents very much. I didn't like authority. I didn't know many people who did, especially when they're young. Like, we all have that rebellious streak. It's part of coming up. I look back now and I'm so glad that there were adults in my life that knew better than me, that could see further down the road because they'd have more lived experience than me, and did their best in a futile effort to protect me from myself, to protect me from the normalization of, hey, why don't just a couple bros sucking off the fucking real estate agent down the street? What's the big deal, man? Like, no, that's not right. That's not normal. It is fucking weird. Yeah. And it's like, it doesn't mean that doesn't happen. But usually when you have people that are very, very young in age, that are sexually abused, taken advantage of by someone much older, like the real estate agent would be with the fucking 12-year-old boys, you pay that fucking tab at some point down the line. And a lot of people don't have the resources to pay that tab, and it fucks with them for the remainder of their lives. Is the way that,
exactly,
and and what we know also is a lot of this behavior it's not a cycle that ends with you. It a lot of times carries over to the next generation. It's very hard to break those cycles. So what I don't know is why when it's much harder now to protect children because of the internet the way it is. These kids, like, we just didn't have access. Maybe you could go in your parents' basement when your dad and mom were growing up, and I was, and you'd find a Playboy that your dad had, and you'd literally ride your bike into the woods and, and look at it. And they're like, oh my God, make it. Like, these kids have that fucking at their fingertips at 8 years old in the room. So why would you want to try to even more normalize this stuff? Just a couple of fucking bros jacking off together. What's the problem? Let's watch some porn and beat it. Like,
I have a theory.
Go ahead. I'd love to hear
my theory right now is, with the internet getting as prevalent as it is and how much information everybody's able to gather on each other, I feel like they're decriminalizing a lot of this before it comes out that a lot of them are involved.
You mean
like powerful people as like the 1%ers and people who just kind of control the things that happen in the world? I'm not going all Illuminati on this, but I do feel like they're trying to change a lot of policy.
Are you talking about underage sex?
Yeah, things like that. Any rings, the stuff like that. I'm talking about any kind of underage sex, pedophilia shit.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, I'll never get over the MAP stuff.
No, exactly.
Like that one alone, and it didn't stick. No. And I would say I would finish that with yet. Okay, and it sounds crazy. It does. Like, who would ever before that? When you start normalizing people that are targeting children for sex, like that doesn't, there's no winners there. That's horrible. We've all agreed with it. When you even sprinkle in, like, they're minor attracted people, it doesn't mean they've acted on it. It's like, no, dude.
Not okay.
Not cool. It's so damaging, so painful for so many people. Like, no, you just don't. And it's like, we crossed the line a little bit, maybe with what about maps? I mean, when people in Congress are talking about maps, that happened.
Yeah.
That happened. And so is that person roundly voted out of office, or no? Do we keep putting more people in power that kind of have these like, whatever. So a kid gets fucked. It's like, no.
And see, that's what I'm thinking is that they're the people we keep putting. I mean, Joe Biden's name in his son's phone was Pedo Pete. So if that's the guy making laws and kind of controlling who's going where and what the punishment is for pedophilia, you think that side might want to push a little bit more like, hey, we're involved in a lot of this. Let's just decriminalize it a bit. So when our information eventually does leak, because that's just the age of the internet, their shit's going to get out. Yeah. It's less impactful.
It's weird.
More whatever.
Milo Yiannopoulos a few years ago got in a lot of shit and, for being a provocateur. The world needs those too, believe it or not. He got in a lot of shit when he was talking about and sort of normalizing fucking older men when he was a kid. And I was willing to listen to his argument because it wasn't like, 8-year-old kids. Yeah. And this is not an area I understand at all. But he went on to make the argument that, hey, it's really hard, at least historically it's been, for young gay kids growing into adulthood and having role models. And so it's very, very common for a young gay male, especially, I think was his point, to have an older mentor kind of bringing them up in a relationship type of thing. It's a dangerous place to be in, but, at the same time, I've grown up in a world where, whatever my attractions were, they were always just to straight females, and so there was never any danger to that. There was never any fear to that.
It was always something you could talk about with people, your friends, 100%, and your family. Yeah,
100%. And there was never even a worry. Like you would go, God, Mom, I'm attracted to a female, who's my age. Like that would be celebrated across the board. Like,
yeah, you're normal.
Hey, I have a normal heterosexual kid. Like, cool. Like, so I just because I've never experienced that doesn't mean that millions of other people have experienced it, and they're, willing to listen when they talk. And Milo was like, no, I wasn't raped by anyone, or maybe he was, but not in this case. No, there was just an older person. It's the only person I could deal with. And I'm paraphrasing probably really poorly this individual. And maybe it's just known in the gay community. I don't know. Do you have any opinion?
No, I can definitely see how looking for a male role model in the gay community is incredibly hard to do because it's not something you can talk about with your dad. So instead of normalizing the pedophilia part of it, though, we should probably just normalize the talking to your gay kids, just getting an understanding about it. And if we can make less stigma on the being gay in the first place, it'd be easier for them to come out and talk to their parents, talk to, actual guidance counselors, things like that. Their friends even,
Sure.
So I'm okay with like trying to make it normal, but the problem with the gay community is they keep going overboard and doing all this crazy shit that makes it not normal again.
Yeah.
Where, they try and add maps in. Like, well, what about maps? Or what about this small niche community?
We want to be inclusive to everybody. Well, not everybody's of sane mind either.
Yeah, and not everyone should get the same rights for their beliefs. I'm sorry.
And just because someone's gay or, BIPOC doesn't mean they're right. It doesn't mean they're, we talked about, what are you, levitating above the rest of us? You're not capable of being a fucking piece of shit or an asshole. We just bow down to you because none of that makes any sense. The problem with the kids is it's why the statement exists of you. If you're not liberal when you're young, you don't have a heart. If you're not conservative when you're older, you don't have a brain. It's because young people don't have the lived experience. They're stupid. They just are. 15-year-olds are fucking dumb as shit. And 20-year-olds are dumb as shit. They just are. And I don't mean that they're not well read. It doesn't mean they just don't have lived experience yet. To see, you don't know what you've never experienced. And so all Marshall makes retarded statements that all the kids in my orbit make absolutely retarded. It doesn't mean they're stupid. It means they're fucking kids. It means they can't see the potential harm down the road. And so your job is to protect them a little bit, insulate them a little bit, protect them. So when you just have this laissez-faire attitude about these kids reading these books, it's like, look, if those kids want to, seek those books out, we're all looking for danger. So we all want the album when we're 15 years old with the parental warning label on it. Like, we're going to seek those things out as human beings. We want to live dangerously. We want to be independent. We think we know everything. And you do the best you can. You're not going to stop all of it. But when you start putting this stuff just openly in classrooms, and it's like, it gives this casual acceptance to, we're just going to blow the fucking, Bill Mahalski, the realtor down the street. Yeah, we've been blowing him for years. Yeah, it's no big deal. Just a couple bros sucking dicks.
Just what guys do, get together, have a smoke and stroke sesh.
Yeah, we're just smoking and stroking, bro. It's like, no, some of that stuff is going to happen.
Yes,
it is. It's part of the reality. You hope to get through it sort of unscathed, but to act like, yeah, we just put this stuff in the schools and make the kids read them, and it's like, I thought we were all in the same camp of like, let's do everything we can to maintain a little innocence here.
Yeah,
I see people have. Everybody raises their kid different, but the problem with kids is they don't have the intellect yet to know how to behave in situations around other people. Yeah. Marshall at times can say really offensive things to me. He doesn't know he's being offensive. He doesn't understand. All he knows is his little world, his little experiences. And, all the kids. Madison has said shit to me where I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro.
I openly called a bunch of Muslim women ninjas.
Yeah.
In public.
Right. Yeah. And they don't know. And so it's on us, people raising them to let them understand. And the other thing is, kids don't have the ability at a young age when they get frustrated to pull back and not lash out and say something horrible. Like, if that's what they know, that's what they'll say. And so you have to go out of their way to kind of guard them. If you're doing a good job, at least you're being that wall of protection for them. And it seems like time and time again, because I don't feel like a fuddy-duddy. I don't feel like someone that's like not aware of I was as fucking outrageous a kid as you could get. Outrageous. Listen to nobody. Fuck off if you don't like it. So I get it but I'm super glad that people weren't encouraging that around me. I look back now and I go, God, I must have been a real monster. Thank God these people never gave up on me. Teachers didn't suggest I read books about, that included passages about jacking off with my buddies.
Well, they didn't try and normalize your degeneracy. That's the thing.
Exactly.
That's the problem we're having now. They're normalizing degeneracy, whether it's drug use or pedophilia.
Exactly.
They're normalizing it all.
100%. And, it's sad to see it. I don't know where it comes from. I honestly don't. I don't know who's in favor of this. And I think if you did, mass polling nationwide, you wouldn't find that much support. It gets a big spotlight on it. Yeah. But these people are dangerous, in my opinion. This woman is bragging about this book being, well, if you're bragging about it, honestly, if you think this is fabulous generational reading, well, then why are you yanking it out of the schools as soon as people get wind of it?
Make your case.
That doesn't make sense. Make that make sense. I don't think you can.
No.
ESPN is shit canned some couple people. Sam Ponder.
Okay.
You won't know who that is. She's smoking hot blonde. She's married to the former
out of my wheelhouse.
Christian Ponder. Yeah. Christian Ponder, I believe. He was a quarterback, maybe Bama. His career didn't take off, but she was a cheerleader, I think, there. And next thing you know, smoking hot, she's getting opportunities. Yeah. And she's on ESPN. She's part of the game day crew. I think their game day crew is horrific compared to it was historically. I know I'm not in your wheelhouse here, Garrett, but you'll just have to follow me on this one as someone who's been, hand, mouth, butt, vagine, and football for most of my adult life or all of my adult life. I know what good panels look like on ESPN, and this is not a great one that they have going. A lot of the people they've thrown in there. Sam Ponder, not a huge fan of, but seems popular, and fine. It doesn't bother me. You got a chick hosting the thing. It's ESPN went through this thing where it's like, oh yeah, every show needs to be hosted by a chick. because inclusion. I don't know. Whatever.
I see why she's popular. I put in Sam Ponder on just a regular DuckDuckGo search, and the 5 suggested topics are bikini, body, legs, and then ESPN.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. What pigs men are. So she's been fired. And to me, I go, I could think of 3 people on the panel I would shit can before her. The host of the show is not your problem. You might want to look at Randy Moss. Yeah, I know he could catch real good, but he doesn't speak real good. And I don't think he's dynamite on the show. There are certain people that do a great job. I don't care what color they are or what gender they are. I think the fucking Asian chick they have is amazing. Mina Kimes, amazing. Female and Asian. I think she's fucking great, talented, good, very good, well thought out points, brings it every day when she's on. Like, yeah, it's not a problem with someone's gender or their race. It's like, are they fucking great at this job? Randy Moss is not one of those people. Dan Orlovsky blew up on the scene. Why? Because he's super fucking good. He's very good. He can explain what's going on, and as someone that was in a quarterback room for decades, like, he brings a shitload to the table. People like Randy Moss don't. So that's someone you go, yeah, get that fucking guy out of here. But whatever. He's popular, and, maybe some people like him. I don't know. The network claimed they fired Sam Ponder along with Robert Griffin III due to financial reasons. That is a load of shit. I don't buy that at all.
They are owned by Disney. I don't buy shit.
Exactly. ESPN, ABC, Disney. Like, that's what you're talking about here. So no.
Fox too.
Sam Ponder is not being fired for financial reasons, even though they've been fucking bleeding money for years, ever since they decided to support Black Lives Matter. The whole country in unison went, fuck off. Yeah. Like, they didn't like being preached to by these entitled athletes about, your city's being burned to the ground and you should like it. Like, no, most people went, fuck off. Yep. And so a lot of people have had a problem with ESPN that they historically haven't had, but ESPN wanted to get into that game, and you had really uneducated, stupid humans with a lot of money talking about shit way over their fucking head, like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. That's what it looked like. It's like you didn't get highly educated, specialized individuals talking about this stuff. You got dumb jocks.
Yeah.
Making absurd statements on your network that a lot of people were like, yeah, okay, next. Sam Ponder, anyways, she was the only female at the network speaking out about the vital gender issue. Okay, this is what I warned about the other day with Kirk Herbstreit. He's got to watch his P's and Q's, because that's a very popular dude who, you start tiptoeing into that water of like boys in girls sports. Like, you're at Disney now. You're at Disney, and that's unacceptable groupthink in Disney's world. You cannot think that ladies, just ladies beating the shit out of women is fine. It's equality. It's equity. We need that stuff. If you're a Disney employee, you welcome with giant rainbow open arms, that kind of shit. That's the reality for them. So, former ESPN personality Sage Steele was similarly fired after she voiced some conservative opinions. So ESPN fires Sam Ponder, the only woman at the network who has publicly said men don't belong in women's sports, Riley Gaines posted. 3 weeks before the football season. Yeah, timing's a little weird too. Sam is one of the most beautiful, genuine women I've ever met, along with Sage Steele, who had a similar fate. Not a coincidence. More recently, Ponder applauded Angela Carini, who's the Italian fighter, for refusing to speak to the media after she got her ass whooped by that dude. Again, we talked about this, not quite as cut and dry as far as the trans argument. Yeah. This isn't like a South Park episode, Oh yeah. It's not one of those situations, but it's still, comes down to the XY chromosome. She's got a ball bag in there and developed, went through puberty as a male, essentially. Yeah. The testosterone. So that's where this comes down. And that's why in her home country of Algeria, they don't let her fight women. She spars with men, that kind of thing. So it's kind of a more nuanced thing, but that's where most people come down on this. So she tweeted out, enough is what all of us should be saying. Proud of this woman. So the girl that got her ass kicked in 46 seconds cried. She was obviously crying because she's a bigot and a transphobe. Yeah. So a lot of people came to her defense and were like, what the fuck, man? This is bullshit. And so she tweets out, Sam Ponder does, enough is what we should all be saying. I'm proud of this woman for not speaking in the media afterwards. Ponder posted online last year, biology is not bigotry. Loving people does not require the absence of boundaries. She also seemingly foreshadowed her own firing, writing, I barely said anything publicly about this issue, and I've had so many people message me, stop me in the street to say thank you, plus tell me stories about girls who are afraid to speak up for fear of lost employment, being called hateful. It's not hateful to demand fairness in sports for girls. Yeah.
She forgot what company she worked for.
Yeah. It's the, Gina Carano too. It's like, I feel bad for these are women that worked really hard. Sam Ponder was kind of plucked out of obscurity right out of college, if I remember correctly, but she's fine. She does a decent enough job. And seems to be well liked by most. Sage Steele was very popular at ESPN, but she's a conservative. She fucks things up because she's a black woman. Yeah.
A lot of these people are not following their Disney wheel of power.
Right. And so this is the danger in this that I've always seen. It's like it gives the false illusion that everybody's on board with this. And what really is going on is these people in no way feel comfortable. They know. Sage Steele knew. Kirk Herbstreit knows. Sam Ponder knows. I'm stepping out on a limb here by even saying something as absurd as boys don't belong in girls' sports. Like, that's not a controversial take. It really isn't. And by even saying that, they know that their careers and livelihood is at risk. That's what they know. And so Gina Carano as well. Gina Carano didn't say anything that was that fucking, she didn't say shit, in my opinion. Actually, she just said,
she was trying to unify people.
She actually
Her whole point was just like, hey, let's not tattle on our neighbors and come together a little bit.
Yeah. How about we all stand against the government and not tattle on our neighbors? We've seen how awful that can get. Yep. And her reference point was Germany. Because do you think the German military could just turn around one day, turn on the TV, and they're going, kill your Jews, kill the Jew neighbors? No, it takes time. It takes you just suggesting, like, look at these fucking people over here. What's up with these Jews, man? And then over time, you build it up to a hatred. It's the scary part about where we're getting as a nation, where I absolutely know for a fact, I know people who've told me, if you could just wipe out all conservatives in the country, that would be worth it. Like, they'll openly say that. Openly. Like, and don't see anything wrong with that. You're at that point, you are actually Nazi Germany without the follow through at this point. Like, that's where you're at. So should
wiping
these
out
women
a whole ideology of people because you don't agree?
Right. Yes. So the takeaway to me is, should these women, and think about what I'm saying here, should these women shut the fuck up and stay in their approved lane, or are they allowed to speak for themselves? Because the message you're sending is no, that they are not. They either stay in their approved lane or they're not worthy of employment.
Exactly. I think they should say what they want, because I feel like if enough people just start talking what they actually believe and what they really think instead of the company think, you can only fire so many people before your product becomes, unusable. Nobody can watch ESPN because the only people on it are the Disney approved people. And eventually they're going to have to make the call to hire back all the people that we loved.
And eventually like those people go to Outkick.
Yeah.
They go somewhere else.
Anywhere. We got the internet now.
And they get a platform, or they go independent. And maybe it's a good thing. Maybe in the end, just thinking about it out loud, maybe it's a good thing. And Disney just fucks off.
Yeah.
ESPN just fucks off. Like, dude, do you think I go to ESPN for my football coverage? No, I do not. No. I go 100% independent. I know people that had careers in radio and in print media, and they've gone off, they got fired or they left. And it's like, no, they still have sources. They still have connections in the industry that I care about. And it's like, yeah, I go watch them. I go watch them do unedited coverage on a topic I'm interested in. And it's worth giving them a few dollars a month.
Yeah.
That's more like, I'm not in, dude, I can't tell you the last time I cracked open a Detroit Free Press or like, no, it doesn't happen.
No, the investigative journalism that's actually going on independently is leagues better than anything you can get on a network.
Yeah.
I watched these low-bit YouTubers with a camera and a little microphone go into the craziest interviews and documentaries I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm finding more and more of those. More and more of them. You know, I was conditioned and grew up at the birth of cable television when the explosion happened of options, and the rebirth with what's going on away from mainstream media, because it's the honesty that kills me. That's what it comes down to. Everybody hates hypocrisy. Everybody hates it. It's why you despise politicians so much. But the bullshit part about the mainstream is these people are so desperate to be in the powerful position of speaking on a microphone and being in a Star Wars movie that they're willing to fucking say any absurd bullshit, anything. They're willing to say, oh yeah, guys and girls sports, totally normal. And the rest of us are going, what the fuck, dude?
We should put tampons in the men's room.
Yeah, no. Normal people understand how insane that is, and they don't put up with it. You have to, and that's the bullshit part about it. Like, if all the people on ESPN had legitimate debates, and you had this guy on a panel that was like, here's why Black Lives Matter is important, here's why it's messy, blah, 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 and then went on his thing, and then you had someone else standing there going, dude, are you out of your mind? That's bullshit. You don't get to act like this and destroy a fucking neighborhood. Do you know the repercussions that happen when they fucking move out of town and your cameras aren't there anymore? Do you know what do you give a shit about the people left behind that already were destitute, that have to fucking clean this up and live in it? No, that's bullshit. Like, if you had that argument and it's like, I got someone who's pro this, and again, like, that's a normal debate, I'd have no problem with that. And you want to have those, but no, when you have from top to bottom, everybody say it is Orwellian. It's creepy. And it's Sage Steele. Get the fuck out of here. You're not welcome here. You can't even speak at our company. Listen, look, and when you see the hidden videos, the secret meetings recorded inside Disney's fucking board, and this one's bragging about all 3 of my kids are trans. You sound like a mental patient, lady. You do. The odds that you would have 3 trans children, no.
Last
bullshit.
I checked, 0.014% of the population was trans, and you just so happen to have 3 of them as your kids.
Boy, that's a lot.
Doesn't feel forced.
No, that's and you're crying with pride over it, and at the same time you're on the panel. What do you think is going to go into the scripts at Disney? What do you think is going to go into? That's your board talking like that. Yeah. What do you think's going to trickle down to an employee who goes, I don't know, man. It seems a little weird why you'd have boys and girls sports. Weird. That's fucking seems wrong and destructive. What do you think's going to happen to those people? They're going to get Sage Steele. They're going to get Sam Ponder. They're going to get, and then they could just go, oh no, it was a financial thing. Bullshit. Yeah. No, don't sell me that stuff. And the message to me, the takeaway message is, these girls either shut the fuck up at Disney, and get in line, and we tell them how to think, and they fucking spew that to the world, or they're not welcome here. That's the message. Because you told Sam Ponder, competent enough, Sage Steele, competent enough to be on your fucking your biggest goddamn asset, Sports Center, for years, as one of your anchors, and Gina Carano, whose career was just starting, really, and was primed to be in a lot of roles, and is now, relegated to the garbage heap of movies. Yeah. You can go over here and do bullshit with the Daily Wire, like
your daytime TV movies and your fucking internet movies.
Yeah. You're not, you go from Disney in blockbusters to that. I think she was in the first Deadpool. Wasn't
Maybe.
Gina Carano was
Yeah, she was. She was the I think she was the antagonist's like henchman.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think she had much of a speaking part, but
No.
a prominent role.
Yeah.
Prominent role, and now gone because what her absolutely reasonable, well thought out, and historically accurate fucking tweet bothered executives at Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to give the updated numbers and correct myself. It's 0.6% now is trans. So
Oh,
0.6% of people are trans.
0.6. Yeah. And that
in the US
seems high.
Yeah.
And what do you think? What promotion works, bro? It just does. When you start feeding it like normalizing things, you're going to have an extreme uptick in stuff.
Well, not just normalized. It's cool to be trans now. That's why it's upticking.
Exactly.
It's fashionable.
Exactly. The gay community, I believe their numbers were underrepresented because it was dangerous historically to be. That's why being in the closet is a thing. It makes sense. The trans thing, yeah, who knows?
That's what I want to say. I want to say, keep in mind that this survey was done on anyone 13 and up. So we're starting at 13 here as 0.6% trans.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of trans, are you familiar with Chris Chan?
Oh, I am a big Christorian.
Really?
I was just watching the body cam footage before we started this show.
Dude, I saw that 2.1 million people have watched. It's probably double that now.
There is currently I want to say 100 plus hour documentary just detailing Chris Chan.
Is Chris Chan insane? Is Chris Chan
100% insane? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let me give some quick details because you're aware of this person. I was not. So she was arrested. This is 3 years ago. 42-year-old trans vlogger.
Yeah.
So I always, when I see these, I get it. There's a grift. People are trying to make money. So I always fear that there's just a grift behind these things.
Not with Chris Chan.
Okay. Goes by the name Christine Weston Chandler. Faced 10 years in prison when she was arrested at her home in Virginia in August of 21. Accused of fucking his mother.
Yep.
82-year-old mom, Barbara, with dementia.
Poor Barb.
Oh, Barbara. I think he was fucking Barbara.
He was. Everyone agrees that Chris Chan fucked Barb.
Yeah. Again, his mother. Now, and I'm guessing Barbara, 82-year-old Barbara, like it'd be one thing if it was your mom, dude. And it's like, it sucks to fuck your mom, but dude, his mom's hot as shit. I'm guessing 82-year-old Barbara is not someone where you throw in that category of like, well, you can't use the just look at her defense in that case.
Neither
Huh?
Neither of them are.
The case was dismissed by a judge 2 years later in August of 23 after Chandler's attorneys filed a motion that suggests. So the case was dropped. The mom. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Chris Chan and Chris Chan's mom.
Yep.
Okay. Nice. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
About what I thought. 82-year-old mom is actually holding it together a little better in the looks department than I even gave her credit for.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good. So the case was dismissed, and it'd be one thing if the next line I read you was case was dismissed because it was total bullshit. He never fucked his mom. No, that's not the next line. The case was dismissed by a judge after the lawyer suggested that that she, Chris, had an autism disorder.
Yes. So
okay.
Chris has famously had this autism disorder since the very beginning, before trans everything, back when it was Christian Chandler. And it's one of those things that he's always leaned on as a crutch, as why he can never go further in life and why everyone's messing with him. But it's just genuinely a crazy person who will not get off the internet. Yeah. Okay. So listen, the autism thing sounds great. And there are extreme versions of autism. Yeah. There are immobile, there are nonverbal autistic, like there's also a lot of us, like when you talk about the spectrum, I don't know how true that is with gender as a spectrum. It seems kind of new math to me. When you're talking about autism, all of us are on some spectrum. I'm diagnosed on the spectrum. Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. I'm sure I am too. No, I'm low end. I'm good.
Isis is definitely fucking on the spectrum, whether he was diagnosed or not. You talk to him long enough, and it's like, yeah, he's on the spectrum. It doesn't mean that he's non-functioning. It doesn't, but you shouldn't have a full-grown adult who can't be hugged or touched. Like, yeah, he's borderline Aspergery autistic.
Yeah.
So we all are using that as a defense for fucking your mom. Like,
exactly.
That seems a bit much. So the reason this comes up now is the video of this individual being arrested just came out. And they put her in handcuffs. Do not fight or you get tasered. Complied with officers, blah, 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 blah. As she's getting arrested, she says, I identify as a woman. They're like, okay, good for you.
Yeah.
I appreciate if you'll respect that. It's like, okay, whatever, dude. It even says so on my driver's license, female. Great. Good for you. Chandler spent months in prison prior to the charge of incest being dropped. Prior to that, she lived alone with her fucking 79-year-old mother. Chandler's arrest came days after a phone call was leaked on a instant messaging platform on which a person believed to be Chandler. I'm guessing you think it was Chandler?
It was.
It was, yeah.
It's been confirmed it was. There's phone calls and everything that leaked.
Listen, we are not far from a society where that'll be so easy to fake with AI. Yeah. But currently, okay, that's what I assumed is like they're saying that as a protection so you don't get sued in the newspaper, allegedly, or someone believed to be. When any rational human being can listen to it and be like, yep, that's that dude talking about fucking his mom. So a person believed him, admitted to having sex with his old lady mom who was believed to have dementia. Boy, it keeps coming. Chandler tells a friend that it was his mom, Barbara, who made the first move. Well, I mean, if mom's making the first move, I mean, yeah, she's got a touch of the dementia, but
Christian is historically a hopeless romantic.
Christian is?
That's how it all started. It's kind of him standing out in the Virginia Mall with a sign saying, looking for a single girl, must be white, must blah, 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 have all like a whole list of demands.
White, really?
Yeah, he had a whole list of demands on this sign. And he was looking for a girlfriend or whatever, but he's this fat, retarded, Sonic obsessed kid.
Yeah.
That's how it all started.
Mom made the first move, which led the two of them to have a kiss. She approached the situation with care and caution after years of harboring sexual feelings towards her mother, and even having dreams of having sex with her. You ever have dreams of banging your mom?
Nope.
I can't say I ever have either. It's weird. Weird as that may seem.
Not.
Yeah. She was partially. I've had dreams of banging your mom, but never my mom. Like that, I've never done. I've never dreamt of banging my mom.
At least it's not your mom.
Yeah. She was partially confused at one point, but then she came around, obviously, Chandler said in one call. Chandler says that she and her mom now have a routine where they fuck every third night, and her mom enjoys it. Chandler tells his friend, God said this was okay. Yeah. I bet when...
his God, mind you.
Yeah.
Christian is not a Christian.
Dude, no, it doesn't sound like it.
Christian believes there is an alternate universe where everything we've ever created here on Earth, like unicorns, Batman, Spider-Man, are all going to merge with us and become one universe.
Okay, so that makes sense then. When the cops arrested this individual, they were talking about her
husband is made-up Mewtwo Pokemon character.
Oh, okay. So she's like, if you guys feel like you're getting punched right now, it's because you are from my husband, and it's some invisible Pokemon.
It's an invisible
character.
Mewtwo.
Yeah. I always, every time these stories come about, and it involves some dementia-laden woman getting fucked by someone, I always just like, you carried this fucking thing around for 9 months. You gave birth to it. You probably loved it to death. It's like, did you ever in your wild, like maybe my kid grows up to be a fucking murderer and kills someone and ends up in prison.
Come back and rape you?
He's fucking you now. You're laying in bed getting deep dicked by your retard fucking trans kid. Holy shit. Do you believe he's trans, by the way? Or do you think it's all
100%.
just part?
No. Yeah. The trans thing's real. I'll put it like this. I've been following Chris Chan myself for probably 12 years now.
Is it because of the train wreck nature of it? Is that what you're following?
Chris Chan is called a lolcow, which is somebody that you can constantly go back to for laughs, and there's just a person that's interesting. And because Chris Chan never got off the internet and would document every single aspect of their life, we have footage of Chris Chan going back to when he was like 16, 17. We have footage of him as a child winning a contest. I'll put it like, if you want, anybody's curious, there is on Spotify or anything, I think they're up to episode 86, and they just got to the conviction with his mom. They're not even at the arrest part yet, or the body cam footage.
Wow.
And I think they're up to like part 89, part 90, and these have been going on for maybe 4 years, and they're not even up to date yet. They're just a continuation, like history of Chris Chan. It's a Geno Samuel 2.0's comprehensive history of Chris Chan.
Okay, and I'm sure people could reach out to you if they need to.
No, it's a great podcast. Highly recommend it. It's good.
I mean, I feel bad. Like, you didn't used to platform mental retardation or mental, like you would think, I know it's fun to watch and it's just, we're all trying to adjust to a world that is so easily connected that a $20 microphone and a fucking internet connection can make you, and the crazy you are, it still bothers me that Cash Me Outside Girl is a thing. Yeah. Like it's not good for a healthy society, but it's all your generation knows, Garrett, and you're well adjusted, and you can, the vibe I've always gotten for you is that you're a well adjusted person who, hey, this is what my world reality is, and I enjoy every minute of it. And you can troll at times. You like it,
I just want humor in the world. I like to make people laugh and smile.
Yeah, and troll them.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, let's do some email. Well, I knowing your background on Chris Chan, I feel more comfortable doing this story because otherwise it's just a mom fucker story.
No, Chris Chan goes way deeper than anyone expects, and part of it is his fault. Part of it is the internet's fault. There's a lot of back and forth, and that's why I say like it would take hours to explain it all. There's a 90-part documentary series on it.
Interesting. All right, let's do some emails. You can email in walters@detroitcast.com. I'll get
email your insults. Stop just throwing them in the Facebook comments.
Are people insulting me or you?
I've got some insults today. Paul Peters. Garrett looks like his mom made love to an aardvark. Not bad. Okay. Garrett seems like he pulls his penis out at park benches. That was one time, and we don't talk about it. Yeah. And then I bet Garrett has a subscription to Lego porn. No, it is Roblox porn. All right.
Okay.
Setting the record straight.
Well, as long as they're shitting on you, I don't care. I'm just fine with that.
I've gotten so many nice emails. I got to read that out too.
Yeah. Be careful though, folks. He will fucking troll on you too. He can hit back, and he's got a bigger platform than a lot of you. So, Kirk Herbstreit, Mike in Woke Bay. I was listening to the most recent TDC episode, and I heard your conversation about Herbstreit and his stance on men and women's sports. I found this odd. Since a few years ago, Herbstreit famously blubbered on national television during a cringy BLM blowfest about social justice. So which Herbstreit is the real Herbstreit? My guess is the blubbering, what are we talking about? Herbstreit was purely a performance that he has regretted until now. If you haven't seen it, search Kirk Herbstreit crying on YouTube. From Josh. Thank you, Josh. There's a lot of people like that, and I vaguely remember that. I vaguely remember that video. Two things can be true at once. He could have meant that. He could have bought in full stop to the narrative. I mean, it was everywhere. Yeah. That this was necessary, and people are being, it falls apart on its face. But in the beginning, there were a lot of people that fell for that bullshit. And at the end of the day, he's just a fucking jockhead, who knows football real good. So I think the real one is the one that can't take it anymore and goes, what the fuck are we doing? You can't have fucking dudes beating the shit out of women in boxing. Like, that's a real response because there's a lot more on the line. There's absolutely zero on the line when you take a real cool social justice warrior stance on ESPN. There's no risk in that. There is huge risk in coming out against the approved narrative that Disney and ABC want you to have. There just is. Yeah, so I agree. My guess is, some of these people have fallen for it. Some of these people are like, I don't give a fuck. I make $10 million a year. I ain't that's probably where he's that at. Paycheck at. I would put him probably in that camp. And at this point, he probably has enough fuck you money to go, all right, if they want to pull the plug on me, I have enough money he's got generational wealth at this point. So my guess is even he can't put up that facade any longer. I could be wrong. I'm interested in your guys' takes. Walters at DetroitCast.com. Leave a comment in the bottom if you want, all that bullshit people say. Send us an email. That's the best way. Jeff says, sup, fags. I thought you needed to see this post haste. This is Jackpot on Netflix today. Yes, John Cena used the term dirt face. Sorry, not a great pick, but he clearly says, you're not the first person to send this to me. He does.
All right.
I'll
find a clip.
Yeah. Someone else sent me the video of it. I've had a couple people reach out to me about this. Apparently it's true.
I'll pull some audio.
Yeah. He mentions being dirt faced or someone dirt facing someone. Under that context, there's too many times that something's happened on the show that has made it into pop culture. I'm trying to remember the last one where it's like,
the boner kid went viral. The Rubik's Cube kid.
Did he?
Yeah, that went viral. Your video did.
Oh, ours did. Yeah, ours has millions of views.
You also had the interview with Roiland that when he exposed season 3 of Rick and Morty in the works.
Oh,
that was not supposed to be out yet.
Yeah, that went huge. That got picked up by everybody. No, I mean stuff that we invented. Dirt face was one where that's not a term anyone would know. You would literally have to be listening to this fucking show to understand where that came from. There was another one that happened too, where it's like, there's plenty of writers that are from Michigan that might be fans that are working in industries in LA. Like, that's not impossible.
I think Newberg isn't sneaking shit into his little joke scripts.
No, I don't think Newberg is, but sure, something like that could happen, or maybe they just had the same fucking brilliant thought that I did at the time. It's funny. Dirtface is funny. How it gets into a John Cena movie. And you know what? Maybe someone will email and go, dude, Dirtface, people have been saying that for years. I've never heard that before when I said it to that woman. I'd never fucking heard that term in my life.
Well, she said too. I just heard the Dirtface was real scary.
Yeah, she just parroted what I said because that's exactly how I asked her. If you listen back to it, I was asking her specifically about the Dirtface, the Dirtface, the Dirtface. She said, well, the Dirtface, of course, was scary. However she said it. But yeah, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. You guys are our eyes and ears. You know what? Why don't we save the rest? Thank you to all the people that have emailed. We'll be back tomorrow. Do it again. We'll do a member show this week, maybe Wednesday, Thursday. I'm not sure, Garrett. We'll do that for sure. TDC podcast, patreon.com/TDC podcast. Become a member. Exclusive. We're doing a show a week there. Doing 3 shows here. So if we can grow that would be awesome. Have a great rest of the day, everybody. Thank you, Garrett. I will see you tomorrow, buddy.